Okay, so here is my summer confessional. So, to start off, I'd like to begin with a memory that I've had over the summer and just one that I constantly can't get out of my mind. So, sometime at the end of July, me and some orientation staff friends went out to the north end and got some gelato, and we just kind of walked around and ended up at the harbor. At this point, the sun was kind of starting to set, so we just kind of sat down and watched the planes take off from the airport. And none of us were really talking at that point. We all were just kind of looking out into the harbor and just reflecting to ourselves, I guess. And I remember just thinking to myself at that moment how happy I was. And that honestly was just because of everything I'd gone through in the summer so far and what I was about to go through and all the people I've met, and just thinking what a great experience this was and how happy I was that I did it. And that was just amazing. And all right, so let's just start back to training, I guess. So the first thing I remember is sergeant camp, and I remember first, arriving on the bus and just thinking, what am I doing here? I was in the middle of the woods with a bunch of strangers, and I really was not that excited to be there. And I honestly didn't understand how, being in the woods and like doing all these random activities was going to apply to me, leading students around campus and stuff. But honestly, just the activities that did and all the self reflections within smaller groups and getting to know each other really helped me become like a stronger person, I think, and try and understand myself and my own potential as a leader. And that was really like the whole point, I think, and what Shiny was trying to like tell us. I mean, that's what she said. She hired us all because she saw potential in us trying to become leaders. And after that weekend, I really saw that yes, I do have potential, and I'm excited to be with these people for the next 3 months and hopefully longer after that, and just create great relationships and become a stronger person through it. So that was sergeant camp. So it was great. And let's move all the way to session one. So we'd been training for a lot longer after sergeant camp, and honestly, we did so much, but there wasn't really anything that was gonna prepare me for session one than doing a session itself. So session one was crazy. One, just because none of us had done it before, but also just because we were so overly excited to finally meet some students. I just remember like going in the first opening ceremony and just being so excited, so enthusiastic. Doing that terrier shuffle like a madman. Like it was amazing, and like I had so much fun with it. And it was difficult, yeah, of course. I mean, we just kind of had to keep learning as we go and keep asking questions. But the whole staff were just so supportive of each other. Our senior staff, the rest of the student advisors, program advisors, NASA's, everybody. And it was just a great experience, and I just couldn't wait to keep going through these sessions afterwards. So that was amazing. And within SMG itself, our staff there and advisors were so great. Doris, Norm, Eric, Sally, Liz, everyone. I hadn't really get to meet a lot of them throughout the year, except for like Doris, and even her, I hadn't really had too much contact with, other than just the meeting she came and spoke to all the freshman class. And now, it was just great because as much as we depended on them, they depended on us, and it really just showed like that I was in a position of power, and that like what I was doing was meaningful, and that we had such an impact on all the incoming first years. And it was just a great feeling to have, and knowing that like what I was doing was meaningful. And especially just seeing the reactions from the students themselves was great, just because orientation really is something special for everyone coming into college, because I know for me, orientation was my first introduction to the school itself. And if my orientation experience wasn't as great as it was, I probably wouldn't have loved the school as much as I did. And I really wanted to share that same experience with all of my students. And I think one of the main things I struggled with is just that you want to connect with your students throughout like every single one of them, and try and make a great experience, and hopefully that they show how much like how grateful they were too. And that doesn't happen all the time. You're not going to connect with all your students. And that's something I didn't really understand at first and kind of took personally, when it didn't happen. But it's just a learning experience. It's something to help me like prepare for the real world. And I mean, when I did finally get those students or those like reactions that they showed how appreciative they were, it's a great feeling. And I know it just, like I said, it shows how meaningful like your job is. And I know that in the fall when at matriculation, when I see them all together and everything, and they're just so happy to be there, like I can look back and be like, I really did something important this summer. Introducing all these people to a school that they're going to be at, throughout their college experience, and know that hopefully that they can remember this first moment of being introduced to the school. And I don't know. That's just my goal, and I think I did a great job with it. And that's just something that any student advisor or any like person doing this can do. So I guess yeah, and also I guess one of the like greatest things I've had over the summer is just connecting with the rest of orientation staff. We've been together for so long now, and even I mean it's actually only been 3 months, but like it seems like we've been friends for ever now, and I can see myself being long term friends with so many of these people, and just can't wait to like see them outside of orientation throughout the year, and like go to Starbucks and be able to like feel like a celebrity because I know so many people, or even just with the students that I've like helped throughout the year. And I created some great relationships this summer. I've gotten to know Boston so much and the school itself. I can definitely say I'm an expert on Boston University now, and I'm just really proud of myself. And just like what Shiny said at the beginning, she saw potential in us, and I think she was just trying to convey that potential that we had, and that we could see it ourselves. And I truly see it in myself now, and just can't wait to I know that I can handle any challenge that comes my way, and in the future be able to handle any job that I want to do, and just be ready for it. And I think I am. So I'd like to just thank orientation and everyone that was a part of it for the summer. And yeah, so that's my summer confessional.